Here recently, I had Bob from Trade Genius join us on Friday night talking in depth about the markets, the economy, where everything's going, and how rigged everything is. And we talked about how the gold, the silver, everything else was rigged and the companies had been busted for it. And really, the focus here was away from certain things and into other commodities like wheat and things like that, where you would see a spike down the road. What we've had now is a massive jobs miss that has caused a dump in many different areas, but it's caused gold to spike. Now, this is just one chart, and you can see here by looking at the others, you can see the Soars 500 index, generic government 30-year yield, all of these dropping as gold spikes. Spot gold, as you can see here, spiking again. But we know the markets are rigged. Don't forget that. So what does this mean? This means that this whole thing of up and down, back and forth, is a constant that is controlled by higher powers. It's time you get to know that and realize that. That is the most important part of all this. And it's not until the big wigs that start getting pulled into court, start bailing and jumping ship, that's when you need to worry. Because in my opinion, that's when they will cause the collapse. Before they get drug into a courtroom, they'll collapse the whole damn thing. And for all these years, all these decades, we've gotten away with hearing all the stories of this and that, collapse coming. I'm here to tell you that it's all been part of the propaganda. Anytime, just like Bob had said, anytime one of their pundits come on the mainstream media and they're like, sell gold, sell gold, sell gold, now it's going to drop, it's going to drop. That's when you want to buy. It is a play on the minds of the masses. They're getting you to go one way and they're going to go the other, and it's the same old song and dance. So, we all know at this point our US dollar is not backed by gold, and it continues to plunge as well as everything else as the gold spikes. So, what this is doing is giving those that are holding the gold, more value in their assets. But we know it's rigged. So what you have to pay attention to is this. There's other commodities out here worth investing in besides the normal big markets people are seeing. And we talked about soy, wheat, rice, all your grains, things that will be purchased in mass. And these are things that people need to survive, unlike gold. You see, you can't eat the gold in the end. You may be able to trade it in a barter system and this and that, and gold will always hold some value. But when it comes down to survival, it's going to be in those foods, and that's what will soar last minute, if you ask me. And it's what we were talking about with Bob. Right before it all hits the fan, you're going to be seeing not only the big dogs, but some of the lower level guys underneath them that are catching wind of what's going on, making moves. And it's when you start to see that rise, and that's where we had talked, even in a downfall, a crash type of situation of the economy, there's always going to be certain goods that will spike. Okay, even if the US dollar and gold both fall, other commodities will spike. And there's always room there for profit. That's how they have designed this. It's time you get to know that so you can reap the benefits of this rigged system instead of letting a handful of others do it at the top. And they're stealing everyone else's money. How do you think they got to become billionaires? Are they helping feed the poor across the globe? Hell no, they're not. So we know where it sits. It's time people get hip to the game and you take advantage of it. I know some people to steer clear of the markets, but even if you stay out of it, it's good to keep a bead on it and know what's coming. Because some of the biggest big dogs out there are connected to this whole game. And when the signs start flying and the red flags start popping up, you have to pay attention here. But I just wanted to cover this latest jobs report with this massive miss and what it's done here. And you can expect to see this in the future. Anytime you see this drop, you can see the gold spike. And once you get to understand the sequence here and what they're doing, you can really take advantage of it. Or get sucked into their lies off the mainstream media like they always do. Remember, it's always a head fake or a feint, keeping you focused on the left hand while they're doing something over here with the right. They're sending you one way while they're going in the other. And that's how they make all their money. And it's time everybody gets hip to it. Make sure to tune in tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, Dabu 77, Underground World News Live. We are converting the name of Real Talk Live over to Underground World News Live. Be joined by a couple different people tonight discussing updates to this and a whole lot more. It's been Dabu 7. Peace.